Hello, welcome back, Box1 here, and today we're going to be looking at this set from 2025. It is set 75431, and it is this 327th Legion Star Corps Trooper Battle Pack thingamabobber. That's definitely not overpriced, and we're definitely not going to talk about that later. It has 4 figures if you only count clones as figures, and 7 if you do also count the droids. Some pretty interesting builds as well, so let's get into it with the figures first. The first 3 we're going to show off, just simple. They're the same ones that you got in the other battle pack from 2024, I believe it was. And they're just B2 Super Battle Droids. Very cool. I quite like them. Happy to be getting them in another set, even if they're just pretty common, I guess you could say now. The next 2 figures are also the same. They have this new pauldron piece, however, which is really cool. It is not cloth nor rubber. It is it's just a normal plastic. And it's pretty interesting. They carry a short, or not a short blaster, but just a normal, I guess you could call it a short blaster. Not a pistol, but not a long rifle either. Normal clone head that you'd see now, and a very nice Star Corps helmet. It does have the helmet holes, which people don't like, obviously. I don't actually care that much. I just quite like the troopers. I think they're really cool looking, and I like the yellow. Next trooper may be either like a commander or a recon or something like that. He has binoculars, he has a pistol. Same as the rest of the other troopers otherwise, but he carries different stuff. Also, I'll talk about this now because I just remembered. They do have printed commas, which is kind of annoying, especially for the price of the set. I wish they were actually cloth commas. Finally, we have this actual sniper, and he has a sniper rifle, or just a rifle with a big suppressor, or whatever you'd call that on it, and it looks pretty cool. He's basically the same, but he does have this new antenna, which was originally exclusive to the Jango Fett Slave 1 UCS set, but has since came out in, I think, 2 other playsets. Very cool. I really like that new rangefinder. We'll show it what it looks like when it's down, in case you haven't seen. And that's what he looks like with it down. Pretty cool. Although they have some flaws, I really like the figures. Now, we can get into the builds, of which there are, I guess, 3. I don't know if you'd really count this as anything, but 3. The first little build, if you can even call it that, is just this blaster. We've seen it in many sets. It's just a blaster on top of a little quadrupod. I don't know what to call that. Thingamabobber, as always. The second build, which is actually really cool, is a new spider droid, exclusive to this set, although obviously the pieces aren't. It has the nice antenna on the top, nice gun in the front, which is actually pretty nice build, actually. I quite like this compared to the stud shooters we had on the old ones. The legs are also pretty nice. They're pretty similar to the old ones, just slightly different. Still using the battle droid bodies. And the head, that's what looks much better. That looks great. It uses some cool minifigure, like whatever you call those pieces. You know probably what those are. I don't know this technical name. Bar with stud on them. And yeah. I believe it's either in this set or another set that we get a bar with a clip on it. I think that's another one, actually, that I will be showing off soon, but pretty cool little build for this. Oh no, it is this one. It's right. It attaches the nose. And this is that piece, that black piece on the end. As you can see, very similar to the other one, just with a clip instead of a bar. New piece, you also get an extra one of it. And finally, the main build of the set, the AT-RT, which is still slightly oversized, but better than the 501st one in terms of scale. And it has a bunch of stickers on the front. Yes, every one of those is a sticker, unfortunately, but that's what we've come to expect now. The worst part is this stud shooter here. It is very, very weird looking. I don't know why they did that. For play feature, I guess, but it doesn't look very good. It can seat one figure, which we'll show in a second, and actually, we'll just show him now, since he's right there. And that's what he looks like upon his walker there, and that actually looks really good. I quite like how that looks. You can also put his blaster at the back. It can fit 2 blasters, so if as in the box, someone is like operating that and they don't have their blaster with them, you can just store it on the back here. The legs are pretty simple, but they have the normal joints you'd find on any walker. One at the I guess you'd call it the waist or the hip, the knee, and then the ankle joint. And it has these very nice feet builds. I quite like the builds of this one. Actually quite stable given its size and the size of its feet. I think it actually isn't too bad. And I quite like the overall look of this one. Besides the stud shooter on the front. But yeah, overall I think it's quite a nice little build. now that we've looked at everything that this set has to offer, we can also deduce whether it's worth it or not worth it, which is the review part of this. And the figures, I'd say they're really, really cool. I quite like them. I quite like well, I don't like the printed commas, but I like the new pauldron. I like the new visor piece. I like getting more B2 battle droids. And I think the builds are also really good. I like this one a lot. This one is basically really good to me, besides the stud shooter, as I've mentioned. But other than that, I quite like it. And yeah. Now the real question, is it worth $45? No. I believe we got this on sale. So you want to look for a sale, like preferably 30, but obviously that's 1 or 2/3 of the price. That's not going to be seen very often. What you want to look for is definitely under 40. I'd say 35 to 30 is probably the best price range and the most reasonable one for this set. If you could get it lower, maybe like later on in its run for clearance, that would be the best. I quite like the set. I just don't like the price. And if you do know something, it is the exact same scale box anyway. It has the exact same amount of figures, minus 2 droids, as the other battle pack that came out the year previous, the aforementioned 2024 one. But yeah, I definitely would say what isn't worth it at the retail price, but if you could get it on sale, it's a really cool set. And it goes well with the MTT, which I don't have yet, but hopefully I will soon. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.